Hey guys, welcome to another video. I wanted to show you some sort of preparation brainstorming work for this piece before we got started, and it all kind of stemmed from this little sketch I did in my sketchbook that I really liked. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this piece. My goal for today was to do a watercolor painting. That sounds really silly, and I know that's basically all I've been talking about all month, but really the goal was to do a watercolor painting with no black lines, so I wanted to work on values with color, and also to do a full figure pose, because I know I do a lot of portraits because I love them so much, but I also really love drawing poses that have a lot of gesture and weight to them. So I liked this pose in my sketchbook, and I don't know how it happens, but whenever I have a tiny thumbnail, there's always seems to be so much more like energy and flow in the tiny little gestures, and then it can be so hard to translate that to a larger drawing. And I like this one pretty much, but there's just a little bit more, I don't know, gestural force, if that makes any sense, in the tiny one. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the sketch that I started with on this one. And I also had a little bit of an idea of the colors that I wanted to use. So I pretty much knew how I wanted to get started on this one. And as far as our topic of discussion goes for today, I wanted to talk a little bit more about art style. And the reason I say a little bit more is because I talked about this on this channel, oh gosh, a long time ago, but it was like it was at a time where I was, I don't know, I'll just be honest, not very good at art. So I was just learning and just kind of dipping my toes in what the term style even meant. And so let me know if you've heard this one before. You're a brand new artist and you go, hey, I want to do art. So you jump on the internet and you start watching YouTube videos and you start looking at other people's work. And it doesn't take long before the word style starts popping up. And it can be a little bit overwhelming at first when you realize that this term exists and you go, oh no, a style? I don't have one. And you freak out, and then you spend an innumerable amount of time trying to quote unquote develop your own style. And I've seen some artists push towards that and have success, like specifically focused on finding a style. And I've seen a lot more artists, to be honest, who try to force a style to develop, and especially when they're younger to art or newer to art, and it just causes stress and frustration and you don't understand why that is. So I wanted to talk to you a bit about my experiences with that, and then some solutions or just a better mental state to be in when it comes to style. And I definitely fall into the category of someone who tried to force an art style, like a way of drawing, because really style is just a combination of shape languages and proportions put together, and maybe a specific coloring pattern, maybe like technique. And it's really just a combination of the fundamentals used in particular ways that you enjoy. So really, and you may have even heard other artists say that style comes naturally and you shouldn't force it. And that's true, because really especially where you need to start, and not really where you need to start, but where you need to focus and fall back on when you lose track of what you're doing, is on the fundamentals. And when I say the fundamentals, I mean things like perspective and anatomy and color theory and value and things like that, and learning about three-dimensional form. And those are the fundamentals. And when you focus on those things, the things that you love while you're learning, and the things where you go, wow, I really enjoyed doing that, I want to do that again, well, congratulations, you just developed a tiny bit of your own quote-unquote style. Because as you learn your craft and as you learn what it is you're doing, the things that you love are the things that are going to stick to you. And the more you learn, the more your own way of doing things will emerge, and that will be your style. It doesn't mean that you should only focus on like a school type regime and never take time to be inspired. And that's really where the internet shines, because we have the opportunity to see so much of what other artists are doing. And really, if you come at it from this perspective of, I'm just going to learn and I'm going to grow over time, and the kind of art that I want to produce will be able to be achieved easier once I have learned the fundamentals and once I have actually learned how to be an artist, you are actually able to appreciate other people's art more, especially artists who are better than you. And the reason that I say you a lot as though it doesn't apply to myself, but I'm specifically saying these things because I have had to go through the struggles of scrolling through Instagram, and I'm sure we've all had these days where I scroll through Instagram and I just get mad because I feel like I'm not as good as these other artists, and the art that I'm creating isn't good enough, and I don't understand why I'm not getting better, or whatever the issue is, or why I haven't figured a specific thing out yet. And that's no way to spend time. I mean, to spend time in this state of anger and jealousy and frustration and putting yourself down, that's really, it's just not worth it. So I kind of have to get to the point now where if I start to feel that way while I'm on the internet or looking at other people's art, I have to stop. I have to just close my phone or walk away from the computer or wherever it is and just stop, because that's not a healthy mindset to be in. What's really beneficial is when you see other people's art and you feel inspired, and it encourages you, where you see a particular technique or a specific color scheme or a subject and you go, I want to try that. And when you're in this mindset of, I'm just going to learn to be an artist, and the other artists around me, no matter how long they've been doing art, they're learning how to be artists too. And when you can actually think about things and go, everyone is learning, everyone is growing, everyone is developing, everyone is experimenting, everyone is increasing their understanding of the fundamentals always, then you're actually able to look at other people's art with appreciation and admiration and respect, and from a proper learning standpoint, without just being angry and being jealous. And I know that's happened to me a lot. There's sometimes I get so frustrated, and it's usually because I'm focusing too much on this idea of style and not focusing enough on actually learning a craft. Because when I'm focusing on learning a craft, I can look at the people who are ahead of me and know that I can get there, and know that I can do other things and do things that even these people have never created before, because your art, I've said this so many times, is a special thing, and pieces of art that you will create don't exist in the world until you create them. There may be things that are similar, but what you do will be unique and only you can do it. And I think that's so important to keep in mind and to remember. So yes, developing your own way of doing things is important, but I know that so many artists say it, but focusing on style really will lead you to copying bits of other people's art without really knowing why you're copying it, because you like the shape of the eyes or the way they draw hands, but you don't really understand how to draw eyes or how to draw hands, and that's so much more valuable. And the key to style is warping reality. And until you understand what reality is, you can't know how to change it. So I hope that's helpful. Focus on learning how to be an artist, how to make art, whether that's watercolor for you, like it is for me, or some other medium. Learn that, and the things you love will be the things you keep doing, and it'll happen. So I hope some of that makes sense, and thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.